So yesterday was a pretty crazy day, and there's a ton of announcements that I don't think anyone really expected to even happen in the first place. So first of all, I completely forgot that Disney had a stockholders meeting yesterday, and they live streamed it, where they announced 10 new Marvel shows, 10 new Star Wars shows, and a bunch more of movies and announcements in general about what's going to be on their streaming service and what to expect in the future of cinema. So that was pretty nuts. And then second of all, there was the Video Game Awards last night, which I unfortunately didn't get to see for myself, but they dropped a new Mass Effect trailer, and that's the first thing I need to talk about now. This video will be about the new Mass Effect trailer we got last night. I was absolutely shocked when one of my buddies messaged me and said, "Hey, they dropped a new Mass Effect trailer." I was like, what? That just seemed so wild to me, considering they just announced a Mass Effect remastered trilogy, and they did announce a new game is in the works, but the fact that they already have a trailer for this new game was pretty crazy. And yeah, you know, it's not a gameplay trailer. It's nothing that would make you feel like the game is going to be out anytime soon, because it won't, but they did have a fully CGI'd cinematic trailer to promote the future of the next game. And I almost cried. Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put it on screen for you here.
We know now that in the early years of the 20th century, this world was being watched.
Roger, copy. Eagle, Houston, you're a go for landing, over.
Structure station. Unknown vessel approaching. We need first contact protocol.
Humanity now stands as partners in the galaxy.
Hawk 6 is away. Godspeed.
What's that device? Directly down the dreadnought.
Engines are going
Abandon!
Is anyone receiving this? We've lost contact.
Anomaly readings all across space.
So many questions to ask with this trailer alone, but so many things I can say for myself with the fact that I felt like I was right, that they weren't going to go back to Andromeda, which if you've seen my most recent Mass Effect video, you'll know that Mass Effect Andromeda simply just didn't sell well. So going back to that world might not be the best of ideas. I always had this idea that one day they were going to revisit the original trilogy and revisit the main characters, being Commander Shepard, your main character. Because when Game 3 ends, it doesn't end. There is an opening to have maybe created a fourth. Now, I could be completely wrong, but from what I've heard and read over the years in multiple articles and videos, the man who created Mass Effects 1 through 3, Casey Hudson, he had an idea for a fourth, and he pitched the fourth to Bioware, but from what I believe, Bioware was a little too scared to touch Mass Effect after Mass Effect 3, especially if it was going to be a Mass Effect 4, considering when Mass Effect 3 came out, the ending of the game had a lot of backlash. A lot of people hated it, a lot of people loved it, a lot of people thought it was fine, but I think the majority of people were not fond of how the game actually ends. Understandably so, Bioware didn't really know what to do with the future of Mass Effect, so after about a year, they decided let's just take Mass Effect to a completely new region where Commander Shepard and the history of Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3 will not highly impact a future game. Well, that proved out to be a bad decision considering what we all saw with Mass Effect Andromeda. So then when BioWare denied Casey Hudson's pitch of a number 4, he left BioWare, went to Bungie, and he created the game Destiny. Co-created, produced, something like that, but he was involved with Destiny. After the failure of Mass Effect Andromeda, Casey Hudson went back to BioWare, what seemed like he was trying to clean up the mess of that company because not many great things were happening there. They're also well known for a game called Dragon Age, which if you don't know, it's basically a medieval times version of Mass Effect. Dragon Age was super silent, they weren't touching that game at all. Mass Effect Andromeda failed, and they tried a new IP with a game called Anthem, which horribly failed. And currently right now, BioWare is trying to completely revamp the game as if it is a new game, which I honestly think is a waste of time, and I think a lot of BioWare fans think it's a waste of time as well, but that's besides the point. Casey Hudson comes back to BioWare and says, hey, Mass Effect's not dead. After all, Casey Hudson is one of the biggest reasons why Mass Effect is even around. It's his baby. So he's like, it's not dead, it's coming back. I have a veteran team working on the project right now. So I'm thinking to myself, Casey Hudson, created Mass Effect. He obviously had an idea for a Mass Effect 4. Would it be so crazy that he would maybe create a Mass Effect 4? Not a Mass Effect Andromeda 2, not another Mass Effect that has nothing to do with his previous trilogy. Would he make a Mass Effect 4? And the more I thought about it, and I'm like, no, it's not crazy at all. There's obviously another story to tell about Commander Shepard and the crew of the Normandy from Mass Effects 1, 2, and 3, and well, it looks like we are getting a Mass Effect 4. The minute I saw that specific character at the end of the trailer picking up that N7 piece, I immediately knew that is Commander Shepard's armor from the very end of the game in Mass Effect 3. There's a lot of details that you're probably missing out and not understanding, considering the only way to fully understand is if you watch the end of the game or if you've played Mass Effect yourself. But at the very end of the game, Mass Effect 3 has multiple endings. One of those endings happens to be what the creators call the true ending. And at the very end of the game, Shepard's lying in all of this rubble and he takes a deep breath and all you see is his chest piece with the N7 symbol. He takes a deep breath, that's where the game ends. Also at the end of the game, if you get the correct ending, the true ending, that blue girl you see at the end of the trailer, Liara, who happens to be basically the second biggest character after Shepard. She picks up his armor, scrubs it off, sees the N7 symbol, and knows, oh, he's out there somewhere. Which at the end of Mass Effect 3, there is a scene of her doing the exact same thing where she looks up into the sky and she thinks Shepard's out there somewhere, he's not dead. This is what is happening. Now, there are so many questions and open-ended answers. When exactly does this take place? Does this take place a couple of years after Mass Effect 3? Does it take place a couple of weeks, a couple of days? Does this take place 500 years after Mass Effect 3? And you'd probably think, well, like, how could that be possible? But that blue girl you see at the end, Liara, her species can live up to 1,000 years, and by the end of Mass Effect 3, she's only around 120 or so. So she could have potentially been searching for him for hundreds of years, and she now just found the armor. It was also fantastic to see that the ship in the trailer is the ship that they used for the concept art that they revealed about 3-4 weeks ago. Now, it makes me question if the popular ship of 1 through 3 is the Normandy. Will you now be on the Normandy, or are you going to be flying around on what they called the Mudskipper? Now, even though Mass Effect as what it would seem to be 4 won't be coming out for quite a long time. I'm assuming 2023, 2024. It does now make a little more sense why they have decided to remaster Mass Effects 1 through 3 for next-gen consoles. The fact that you'll be able to replay 1 through 3, and then when 4 comes out, you'll be able to upload your save data from 4 and continue your story as Commander Shepard. That is if, of course, we are playing as Commander Shepard, or if maybe this game is to simply seek out and find Commander Shepard. Whatever the story is here, I'm sure they have it planned out very well. The last thing you would want to do is ruin the legacy of Casey Hudson and ruin Mass Effect 4, which involves all of our beloved characters. Now, with that being said, we don't have any more information on what has been shown to us, but at least we know that a new Mass Effect is on the way, and it is a Mass Effect that I think a lot of us have always wanted ever since the ending of Mass Effect 3. So that's gonna end this video, guys, but there are plenty of other videos coming out very soon because we do have a lot to talk about based off of all the announcements that were released yesterday on Thursday. So until then, I'll talk to you guys soon. See ya.